One of my favorite slots of all time is the 9-5 -1-2 slot. You'll know I love the Undertaker, one of my favorite molds of all time, but recently it got kicked out of the bag by the Lotes. Today we have an exciting challenger because we have the new S-Line CD1. Let's get into it. So we're at a Crockett Park. We're gonna play 5 holes on the long layout to really put these discs through their paces and see which one should make my bag. Hole 14 plays 502 feet all the way down the hill, tucked up against the far bushes. So it's not quite a 500-foot throw, but still pretty good distance. A lot of airspace off to the right. We're gonna go with the Lotes up first. Not much flip up out of that. It kind of holds that hyzer moving left the whole time. Came out pretty low. Let's go with the Undertaker. Little more flip up, but still doesn't really get any right move in motion. It's gonna push a little farther because we got more height on it. Interesting to see how much farther that is than the Lotes. Finally, the CD1. Oh, caught a little cabbage on the way out. Touch a turn, little nose up, but looks like it got good push down there. Let's go find out where those went. So all 3 of these ended up being pretty similar distance-wise. We have our CD1 right here. Nice little forehand approach. Horrible forehand approach. It's all right. Our Lotes right over here, see if we can't do any better. Not gonna come back, 0 for 2. And then just maybe 10, 15 feet ahead of those two, our Undertaker. 3rd time's the charm. Yes, it is. Now, what first turned me on to the CD1 is Anthony Bodanza, Bodanza Disc Golf. If you watch Disc Golf YouTube, you've most likely watched his channel. You've seen him throw these discs all over with crazy success. The dude is tearing it up out there. And the way he throws the CD1 made me really intrigued. Hole 15 plays 320, basket is tucked up in those trees, pretty much a dead straight line at it, maybe a little right. Lotes up first. Oh, just barely over the sign, my goodness. Get through? Oh, actually parked, absolutely parked that shot. So close to that sign. Let's go with our Undertaker. Started that a little more left and didn't get the flip. So actually very similar flight. I just started it more to the left. Finally, let's go with the CD1. There you go, touch a hyzer out of the hand actually. See if it finishes. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Awesome shot, I love that. Absolutely parked CD1 right here. Lovely, great birdie. And the Lotes just a little bit farther on the other side of the pin, but once again, so close. 2 really good drives on those 2 discs. Huge shout out to Disc Golf Deals USA for sending out this CD1 for me to try out. You can use code JOURNEYDG to get 10% off if you want. The link is down below. Hole 16 is a little bit of a beast. Plays 285 through this tight gap, which is about 100 feet off the tee, then finishes to the left. So we gotta hit this gap going pretty flat, maybe drifting a little right, and then finish back to the left. Lotes up first. Oh, I leaked it high and left. Wow, we're way left. That might be jail. Let's throw our Undertaker. High again and a little left. I mean, I think we're kicked down in the gap. 0 for 2 on the gap hits. See if the CD1, the challenger. Oh, I did it. It's going right though. I need it to come back left. Oh, and it clipped something. Okay, so I don't think it's gonna be that close to the basket, but the first of the 3 to actually hit the gap felt pretty good out of the hand, but it did get on turn. Hold that turn. All right, here's our Undertaker. You can probably just now see the hole up there. We're gonna go with the Undertaker again. We just gotta get it out to the right on hyzer and get it pushing back to the left. It's not about distance, it's about angle control. Hopefully that goes left enough. Ooh, that looks like a circle. Look, no 2 ways about it. I'm in jail over here with the Lotes. I mean, I'm going that way. We're here. I have hardly anything. I do have a gap here. So if I can get this out on, I mean, it's a pitch out. It is. Yep. Long look for the par save from the Lotes. Oh no, too much. Get down, get down. Ooh, juiced into the woods. So the CD1 pushed a little long, quite a bit right. We're just here in the junk, which means we have not a ton. Looks like maybe a little patent pending on Annie, and that was so nose up. What a horrible, why? Is it because I didn't follow through? No, that's not much better either. Apparently that's just not a shot I know how to throw. Hole 17, 484 foot par 4, all the way down through the tunnel. The basket is up there in the trees. Same order, Lotes up first. Yeah, don't go too far left though. Oh no. All right, there might be a sneaky forehand route around the back. Let's go with the Undertaker. We're really trying to land more right than that in the front of that opening up there. That looks better. That looks a lot better if it sits. Yeah? Okay, perfect. That is the ideal shot. Good turn, a little fade. Let's see if we can't replicate it with the CD1. There's the turn. All right, now dig or come back. Awesome. That'll work all day. So definitely some observations on stability here between these 3 discs. The Lotes, I would say, is the most overstable of the 3. You get a little less turn and a little more fade. The Undertaker seems to be kind of right in the middle. Little bit of turn, a little bit of fade, and the CD1 seems to be the most flippy. It will definitely hold the turn if you give it to it, and then it'll come back ever so slightly if there's enough airspace, or it will just hold the turn the whole way. Here's our CD1, just straight down. The basket is in the back of this tunnel. Let's go with the Recco on a baby flex. Oh my gosh, a baby flex into the woods. Horrible shot. Great drive though. And I do want to take this opportunity, even though it was a bad up shot, all right, give me a break on that, to talk a little bit about what I love this slot for, the kind of shot that I want out of this disc. For me, that 9.5 -1.2 disc is sort of your perfect dead straight, little hyzer flip to straight, a little bit of turn disc. I need it on these kind of shots. These shots went about 345, 350. I'm at the Undertaker right now. I'm about to throw that through the tunnel, but this is exactly what I want from this slot. I don't want too much overstability. I don't want too much understability. Just something I can release on a baby hyzer, flip it up to flat, have it drift just ever so slightly right, but still have it finish softly back left for that dead straight shot. See if we can't redeem the upshot from the Undertaker. That's a little better. Just a nice putter up. So here's the Lotes, which is a little bit left of this gap, and now it puts me in a weird spot where I kind of have to do this forehand back door route, which is not ideal. So a little more fade than I wanted on that shot actually out of this disc. Just something to know. So I'm gonna try and forehand it on hyzer, get sneaky through this gap in the middle of the trees, get around it. Oh, not quite. So let's take just a brief moment to talk about hand feel and differences in the mold variation of these 3 discs. All 3 of these discs actually feel pretty similar with only some slight differences. The Undertaker may being the biggest outlier of the 3. Both the CD1 and the Lotes have very similar wings and rims on them. They both have this little curve right here, a little bit of a slant up to the bottom. Whereas the Undertaker is pretty smooth all the way through. That's one of the biggest differences that you'll notice. So in terms of hand feel, how do they actually feel on the hand? And this is pretty subjective, personal preference. To me, the Undertaker feels the most full in the fingers. Because that rim doesn't have that dip I was talking about, it really feels like it fills up your entire hand. Whereas with both the CD1 and with the Lotes, it feels like there's a touch more space right here in between this knuckle and the rim, where you get just that little dip in the rim. So the Lotes and the CD1 maybe feel a touch sharper, whereas the Undertaker feels a touch more round in the hand. It really just comes down to what you like and what you feel the most confidence in. Hole 18 playing 355. We're gonna play the shorts on this one because the longs are up around a corner. You just wouldn't be able to see the flight of the disc, but still 355 feet to the pin, straight ahead, slight downhill, so we can easily get it there on these. If we just get them flat, we have to get them moving a little to the right to get them to finish back left. But once again, a great test of that long straight shot that I'm looking for out of this slot. Here we go, Lotes up first. A lot of hyzer out of the hand, not really much flip up. I mean, really holds that hyzer left the whole time. Like I'm saying, the most overstable of the 3. Let's go with the Undertaker. Still some hyzer out of the hand. Yeah, still pushing left on me. Maybe a little more flip up, but still not quite it. And the CD1, let's finish out strong. Okay, a little more flip up. That one was a little nose up too, so it's still gonna finish left, but interesting. So one other really important factor that I am considering is that CD1 does come in different plastics and noticeably different stabilities. If you watched my most recent video on the Passion versus the FD, I talked about this. The S line and the C line for Discmania, the C line is noticeably more overstable, and it's really attractive to have 2 different stabilities in different plastics, but the same mold. That really helps with mold minimalism, with keeping the bag succinct and organized and simple to be able to score well. Now the caveat, I don't have a C-line CD1. I've never had one, I've never thrown one. So I'm really basing this off of just other people that I've watched throw them and past knowledge and experience with Discmania. Most notably, Anthony Bonanza. If you watch his channel at all, which if you're watching me, I'm sure you watch him, you'll know he's a huge fan of the CD1. He throws both the C line and the S line, gets killer results out of them. Walking out to those final shots on 18, here's our spread. Lotes right here. Then we have the Undertaker, and then we have the CD1. You can see the basket right over there. So let's talk results. All three of these discs flew wonderfully, and I'd be happy bagging any of them. As you know, the Undertaker was in my bag for a long time. Is one of my favorite molds of all times, but recently came out of the bag to make room for the Lotes, which I have been really enjoying. Now, most overstable of the three, also a fairly new disc though, so my expectation is that it will beat in to be a little more flippy than it currently is. Now, let's talk about the new boy, the CD1. I have to say, I really loved this disc. By far the flippiest of the three, and I think for my current bag, it's just a touch too flippy to be in there alone. Now, the major caveat is, if I were to get my hands on a C-line CD1 and it had more overstability, I think the complement of the C line and the S line in the bag together could actually be exactly what I would want out of this slot and these discs. But since I don't have the C line CD1 for now, I have to work with what I have. So what's making my bag? Well, for now, it's gonna be the Lotes. That's what we're gonna stick with, at least for a while longer. I'm still in a little bit of a honeymoon phase with this disc. I'm still enjoying it, still getting to know it, and I think especially if it beats in to be a little flippier than it currently is, it might be perfect. But if it doesn't, it's a good chance to go back to the Undertaker, and like I said, if we get a C line to go with this S line, then that might just be the way to go. So hey, appreciate you guys hanging out. I'd love to hear in the comments below what you bag in this slot and what your favorite dead straight fairway driver is. My name's Andrew Wood. Always remember, the journey is the destination. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.